The last reality created by the nothing for turning the imagination of a single perfect ordered realm into reality. It has been proven that the last reality have been using future seeing as their strongest weapon to reach this dream. A weapon that has let the last reality manipulate everything that has happened in the Fortnite storyline and ensure the future plays as they please. But how did the last reality even see the future? Can we even see the future like them? Or how much of it exactly can we see? And if so, why did it seem like the last reality failed in these two moments? But the most important question, how exactly can we win against an army which already knows how the future events play out? That kind of seems impossible. So let's begin the ride and make sure to grab some bags because we're gonna get sick of me saying like the word future way too many times in this video. Let's begin with how time and seeing the future works in Fortnite. Based on how the 0 point is the origin of everything and how it needs to be attached to every single reality for them to naturally function. Or even from many moments in the story it has been shown that the 0 point is actually what manages and controls time, making it even be a thing. From stopping the time in Season X, to even taking things back in time, or even ending time and restarting it. And to looping time every 22 minutes back to the start over and over and over again. So now we know that time is connected to the 0 point, but that's not the only thing we need for seeing the future in this game's storyline. Something else that is also connected to the 0 point is our souls. Every being that has been created by the 0 point has some of the creation energy of this 0 point within them. This energy is their soul and what gives them life and power. This is also what revived the cube in Season 7 and exactly the reason for it turning blue instead of purple. We took some of the creation energy within us and put it inside of the cube shell, making it become a 0 point creation energy cube instead of darkness and corruption. This sounds really interesting, doesn't it? Why the hell are you sleeping? I will make you do Fortnite Storyline exams, I swear! So souls and time are connected and made by 0 point. How exactly does that let us see the future? The two times outside of last reality we have ever gotten to see the future were both by drinking Peely. Yep, you can see visions of the future by drinking a living being's juice. Where can I find one? I wanna see when exactly I will be a Fortnite Storyline character. Wait, never? Nah, you can't. Ain't gonna skin and I don't. This is not fair. I actually figured out why drinking Peely makes you see the future. If you think about it, Peely has a soul. He's a living being with emotions and everything. What if, since turning Peely into a smoothie keeps him alive and does not lose his soul? That might mean by drinking Peely we're actually drinking his soul energy too. And by consuming someone else's soul we can temporarily get the ability to see the future. Yeah, that sounds really dark, consuming someone else's soul to see the future, but that's Fortnite for you. I love this game. Have I talked about the graphics? So good! This is exactly the key point we need to figure out how exactly the last reality sees the future, and uses it as their biggest weapon against us. To see the future, last reality needs souls. Souls, when leaving our bodies in this game's lore, go to a place called the Spirit Realm. This Spirit Realm, as Dark Jonesy confirmed, is exactly what the last reality uses to see the future. That means that the last reality have been collecting souls from the Spirit Realm and consuming them for power and, most importantly, future seeing abilities. This is how they see everything before we even get to experience them. But now the question is, when exactly the last reality started to do all of these things? I really think that's probably Season 4 Chapter 2. Before this season they probably used to do it in a smaller scale, but why do you think that Midas' shadow happened in the same one? He, as I explained, was made from the reboot card of the Midas who died by These devices collected the looper's soul, while the cards have their entire information coded within these cards. As Bunker Jonesy once said, when you reboot your friends, you're not really bringing them back, but instead the reboot one takes the information of your friend written in these cards and creates a snapshot of them. Which I've started to think that's probably not where things end. The loop is meant to make you be perfect and you die over and over again until you get a win and get freed from the loop. What if, since Geno is addicted to perfection, he has made the reboot ones tamper with the code written within these reboot cards, make changes to the person they snapshot, and make these snapshots more perfect than their original host? Well, that seems to be true because the last reality, as I explained in this video, used these reboot ones and the card to create a snapshot of Midas, but purple and this time with white hair, and the dark curse instead of the golden light curse. That means that the last reality tampered with the coding within these cards to make the snapshot of Midas be on their side. Why that is important is because, as confirmed by the trailer, Midas Shadow stopped the devices who collect our souls after death and took control of them, corrupting them. Souls that are meant to be part of the spirit realm but instead are serving Shadow Midas. I really believe that these souls and Midas were taken into last reality and nothing consumed them. Exactly where he started to see way too many visions of the future. Or maybe also be able to control it for the others who also see it. Because think about it, how is it that every time someone sees visions, it's exactly what they need to see for the IO to win against the monster and for the 7 to win against the IO? What if the nothing has consumed so many souls, or even maybe has taken control of the spirit realm to the point he can now manipulate the visions of future? So he might be why Jones saw the monster fight and why Peely saw where exactly the 7 would fail. Or also this could just be the 0 point choosing for us what to see. But there is one more key moment that I think is why from now the last reality can see at least 80% of what happens in the future. That is the Ariana Grande event. It was confirmed by Donald Mustard to be an alien manipulation of them trying to scan us. These scans leading into last reality seeing visions of every moment in our past history. But one of these visions was not our past. This vision was the future and exactly Season 8 Chapter 2. It was more proof to us that the last reality sees the future, but also it meant that they were scanning our souls in this moment. And by doing that to every single looper who existed within the island many times, they collected as much future visions as possible. Meaning that because of this, they probably saw either like 80% of the future or maybe even everything. I mean, again, don't forget what the Cube Queen told us. Everything we have ever been through, everything we ever thought was true, just anything we have ever seen in the Fortnite storyline, all of it was her plan, her game and her show. Meaning that she has always been controlling us, knowing what we would do. Now the next question is, can we also see visions of the future like last reality? Well, of course. We would just need souls and consuming them, like the easiest way being drinking Peely, but that's so messed up. I don't think anyone would do that. Even if we do so, we would need to consume thousands of souls to see most of the future, like how the last reality does. For us, we would only see like one or some moments, not a lot. But I do think that since IO is somewhat an alternate version of last reality, they might see the future to a low level too. Like I've explained in the past, the Spire Guardians protect the souls, keeping them away from the last reality and even using it as fuel to fight them. Or a recent theory I've come up with is that Jen always knew he will lose to the last reality by them sending the 7 against him. He might have seen how the collision plays out too. So let's answer yet another question. How can we exactly fight against someone who can see the future? Geno knows about the 0 points more than anyone else. I really think that he can figure out parts of the future events where the last reality have not seen or doesn't expect it to happen. So Geno would use his unseen future moments as his strongest weapon to fight the last reality, becoming our only hope to have any chance against the nothing. For example, I really think that Geno could probably escape collision without falling into the 0 point or any of that. We saw how he survived the 0 point death, but what if the last reality didn't? Their vision probably ended when Geno fell into the 0 point and now they think he's dead. While Geno knows 0 point knowledge and how seeing the future is connected to the 0 point, Geno then would make the 0 point never ever show anyone any visions related to him ever again, keeping the last reality in thoughts of him being dead. Therefore, the paradise of last reality happens and them celebrating his death. That would also explain why the Imagined has once again lost her memory after season 2. Geno wiped her memory out while saving her, so she never talks about being saved to anyone or who saved her. Nor when last reality captures her, they wouldn't be able to see into her past to find out Geno saved her anymore. Geno seems to be our only hope to fight against the nothing, and I really think he will be treated kind of like Foundation. He will soon have a small reveal in the story and play a huge part in chapter 4's ending event. Then probably like the tier 100 of that season or even the bonus skin. I really hope this theory comes true, it sounds dope. But now the last question unanswered. If the last reality can always see the future, why did they let the mothership blow up? Or Cube Queen fail to water? Or even Herald dying becoming a tree? Well, I have actually answered all of these in detail in this video on your screen. You need to see this video, it explains everything.